today we are going to talk about what happens when there are variables on both sides. So we're starting off, we'll do a few examples just how to solve equations in general, and then we are going to talk about what happens when there are variables on both sides. Okay, so we're going to start by doing a few examples using this flip chart page that we had in the past. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 says to draw your line first, and we're going to look and see, are there any parentheses on number 1? We're going to go down the list. Are there any parentheses? Yes. So we're going to do 2 times 9n, and we're going to do 2 times -1. What is 2 times 9n?
18.
Is it just 18?
18n.
18n. And what is 2 times -1? -2. Very good. Once I've done this, are we done?
No.
No. We have another set of parentheses to take care of, right? Okay, so we're going to do 7 times n and 7 times what?
7 times n?
7 times n and 7 times 6.
42.
What is 7 times n? 7n. And what is 7 times 6?
42.
42. Now, I have just done the parentheses. If you notice, there are 4 answers that I have here. So that means I have 4 terms. When we are doing this, we want to make sure we only have 2 terms on each side. So right now there are 4 terms, so that means since I have more than 2 terms, I can combine like terms. Okay? So what can I put together?
7 and 18.
So 18n and 7n can go together, and what do they make?
25.
25? N. Very good. 25n. I'm going to make that yellow to show that I put the yellow ones together.
I need some glasses.
Okay? Now, let me make it a little bigger then.
Thank you.
Alright. Now, is that all I can put together?
No. You can put -2 and 42.
Very good. -2 and 42 can go together. What's -2 and 42 put together make?
-40.
Positive 40, right?
Positive 40.
Very good.
It is.
So positive 40, I'm going to make that orange so that you can see I put those together.
Like orange, like Trump's.
Okay, so now, what is -260? Do I do anything to that?
No.
No, so I just write it at the end. Alright. Now, the next step is to look and go, okay, step 3 says, is there a variable on both sides? Is there? No. If I cover up the 260, there's a variable here, but if I cover up the orange and yellow side, there's not a variable here. So what do we do next? Do you have a number being added or subtracted to the variable?
Yes.
Yes, plus 40. So how do I undo plus 40? Minus 40 from both sides.
They cancel out.
So, hold on. So, when you do this, I always do it, I write it on both sides, and then I go through the motions. So, 25n, did we do anything to 25n? No. So, we're going to write it down here, 25n. Positive 40 and -40 cancel each other out. And this is -260 minus 40. -300.
Oh, yeah.
Now what do you do?
Divided by 25.
Divide by 25. -300 divided by 25. So what does n become?
12.
-12. Very good. -12. Okay, so now let's look at number 3. Skip number 2, we'll come back to it. I'd like for you to attempt number 3 on your own. I'm going to give you a few minutes. I want you to do number 3 all by yourself. Okay, on this page we start at the top. Are there any parentheses? No. Are there any like terms?
No. Yes.
Yes. So to tell if there are like terms, you want to make sure there's only 2 things on each side, for the most part. Especially during this unit, it's going to be 2 or less. Okay? So if there's 3 things on one side, then you're going to end up with doing combining like terms. So what can go together?
2 and 3.
2t, and what kind of 3t is that?
Negative 3t.
Negative 3t. So you're going to do 2t minus 3t. Notice that when I wrote my t, I put a little curly Q on the bottom.
Oh, so it doesn't look like a plus.
Right, so it doesn't look like a plus sign. So 2t minus 3t is negative 1t. So now I'm going to come over here. It's negative 1t minus 12, because I did not do anything with this 12, equals, and then I didn't do anything with the 60, so I'm going to bring it down.
So it's 12.
Now, I'm going to look, is there a variable on both sides? No, there's only a variable in this room, but not in this room. Do you have a number being added or subtracted to the variable?
Yes.
Yes. What is the inverse operation for 12? I mean, negative 12? Plus 12. So add 12 to both sides. So I'm going to go straight across like I did before. I didn't do anything with the 1t. Negative 12 and positive 12 cancel each other out.
So it's negative 1.
And what's 60 plus 12?
Duh.
72.
72.
Whoa.
Now, are we done with this problem?
No.
Why not?
No, 12.
Why do I have to divide this time? Because it has a 1 in front of it. I thought we were done. Because it's a negative. If we have a 1 in front of it, you're done. But if you have a negative 1 in front of it, you're not done. Okay? Positive 1 is fine. Negative 1 is not fine. So we're going to divide by negative 1 on both sides.
Excuse you.
72 divided by negative 1. What does that get you?
72.
Negative 72. Okay. Just since we're in the sake of reviewing right now, look at your worksheet here. Are there any other problems that do not have variables on both sides of the equal sign?
Number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8 and
5.
number 5. I'd like for you to attempt number 5 right now on your own. Action! So, in number 5, are there any parentheses?
Yes.
Yes. So you're going to do 15 times t and 15 times 2. What does 15 times t equal?
45.
15t.
Who said
Here we go. 15 times 2 is
25.
25?
Zeus.
Yeah, 30.
Please do not yell out wrong answers on purpose. Alright, so somebody said in here earlier that it was 45t when the video was paused. That is not correct because one of them has a t and one of them does not have a t. So we cannot put these two together. But the next step is to say that we have to combine our like terms. Because we did the parentheses, but we still have 9t and 15t. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So what is 9t and 15t? What do they make?
48.
24. Okay? So we're going to get 24t plus 30 equals 6. What do you do next?
Wait, you said 24t plus.
Right. So we
Oh,
put
okay.
together the two yellow ones, but the 30 still has to be written right here. So that equals 6. So now we're going to subtract 30 from both sides. So I didn't touch the 24, so I'm going to copy it down. 24t. Positive 30 and negative 30 cancel each other out. And what is 6 minus 30?
Negative.
So one's positive and one's negative. So when you type it on your calculator, you type 6 minus 30, and you get negative 24.
Yeah, negative 24.
6 minus 30, you type it on your calculator. So you say 6 minus 30,
Negative
like that.
24.
and you get that negative 24. Okay?
So negative 24 equals t. Or t equals.
So now we've got to divide.
I know that.
So we divide by the 24 on both sides. So t equals negative 1. Negative 24 divided by 24 equals negative 1. Okay, it's about to get all interesting in here. Are you ready? Okay, fold your paper in half, and we're going to talk about what to do when there's variables on both sides, because the rest of these, except for number 8, we're not going to do number 8. We're going to do them. So you have variables on both sides. So 2, 4, 6, and
Folded what kind of
7
way?
have variables on both sides. So fold it in half, and we're going to write something on the outside.
Oh.
If there are variables on both sides, one action.
Find Texas!
Alright. If there are variables on both sides, good job, Zeus. You're going to find Texas. So go ahead and write that down. Write that down. So what I mean by finding Texas is that everything's bigger in Texas, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard that phrase where, like, we have bigger trucks, right? We have Ford F-150s, Texas edition, right? The big old trucks. Yeah, we got. When you go to the state fair, we got Big Tex, that big dude, right? Howdy, Texans. All right, everything is bigger in Texas. And so what I want you to do is I want you to find the side that has the larger X's. So Texas is the side with the larger X's. Texas is the side with the larger X's. Action. So what you're going to do is you're going to move your X's into Texas, because all my X's live in Texas.
And Texas is the place I really love to be.
That is right.
I hate
Wait, what do you mean move all your exes?
What do I mean, move all my X's into Texas? Well, I will tell you in just a second.
That's why I hate
My
Can I get,
live in California.
let's see, Drake, can you push PC2 for me, please?
Wait, Miss.
Are you ready?
Wait, Miss.
Probably
Wait, Miss. Is that why you hang your hat in Tennessee?
That's why you hang, because your X's live in Texas.
So you
Why
So-
you hang your hat in Tennessee?
All right, you ready?
It's stupid.
Here it is. Hopefully the song comes on. It's not on? Will you push in the silver button? Turn it up. Alright, so we said we're going to move our X's into Texas. Okay? So let's look at this example right here. If I have 2x plus 3 equals 4x plus 5, which side of this equation is going to be Texas?
Left side.
The left side
Right side.
or the right side?
Right side, right side, right side.
And how do you know?
Because move all your exes. Exes is bigger in Texas.
Look at the
X
x
is
term,
bigger.
and on the x term, 4 is bigger than 2. Okay? So, this side is Texas, because it has the bigger x term. That side is Texas because it has the bigger x term. Okay? And this side is not Texas. This is Tennessee This is where I hang my hat. Okay? So I'm going to move my X because you know what? This is my X now. I'm going to move it to Texas away from me. So I'm going to move this into the other side using inverse operations. So if it's plus 2, then you're going to do minus 2. And if it's minus 2, then you're going to do plus 2. Remember, inverse operations are addition and subtraction, multiplication and division. They undo each other. Yes?
If Texas is bigger, they should make the Whataburger burgers bigger.
They should make the Whataburgers bigger. Texas is great because it has Whataburger, but now somebody else has it.
But
So.
then again, it's weather is like very bipolar.
Wait, so